Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you've had a good week. I know you took test number 1 in Math 100, and hopefully things went well for you this week. This is the Sunday video for Math 100 for September 27th, 2020. I'll be sharing a screen with you and explain a few things about the test that you took, as well as what's coming up this week. So here we go. Okay, so class, you took your test number 1, your first major test, 1 out of the 3 major tests. And hopefully you also did lesson number 7 this week. For test number 1, the average turns out to be 72, okay? And the highest, somebody scored 95 out of 100. That was the highest score in all my classes combined. So, you know, I have 4 sections. And so that's a pretty decent score. An average of 72 is certainly not bad. It's actually much better than the very similar test given last year at the same time. So, you know, and this is the distribution of the scores, all right? Average of 72 and standard deviation of 14. You will find out what that means in about a couple of weeks. The average person took this test in 1 hour and 10 minutes and so on. And then I have all kinds of other information here for analysis, all right? So, and then as far as the grade distribution is concerned, I will show you something else as well. I believe I will write this down in the announcement as a written statement, but there were like 6% of the students got an A, about 31 students got a B, and 27% got a C. So totally 64% of all the students who took this test actually passed with an A and B or a C. And then there are a few who didn't quite make it. Then there are a few students that did not take this test. And I'm a little concerned about those who did not, but the ones who took your test, most of you did fairly well. And even if you didn't quite pass this test, you know, with the homework and worksheets and other assignments, you can make up the scores, and hopefully you will complete this, this course successfully at the end of the semester. All right, and then I have a few more things I'd like to show you. Okay, so I'm sharing the Canvas site with you. You know that the Welcome to Math. So some of you are still asking me like, where you can find homework and solutions. That's all here. Okay, so you have the test. You can, I mean, the textbook you can download, and the homework solutions all here. All right, the Canvas is structured around these modules, and in my case, every lesson has a module, as you know, right? And right now we have finished the first 6 modules, or the 6 lessons, and then we had test number 1. All right. Also previously, or in the past 7 days or so, after you took your test number 1, you were to do lesson number 7. This is the beginning of chapter 3, which is on compound interest. This is one of the 3, the first of the 3 lessons concerning mathematics and money, or math of finance. Right. So chapter 7 starts with a simple interest and then goes into the compound interest, which is a little complicated, but not nearly as complicated as calculations you will see in lesson 8 and lesson 9. Okay, so as you watch these videos and as you take these notes, okay, now don't get too discouraged because the calculation looks so messy and so complicated. Right? The most complicated formulas you do not need to memorize, okay? Now you do need to use some of these complicated formulas as you do your homework problems, but not on your exam and you know, other things. So make sure that you know which formulas you need to learn and which formulas you do not. I try to make it very clear in my video presentations. And also, as you work on these notes, and by the way, as you watch these videos, okay, I switch my screen so that you can see me actually pressing the calculators. Okay, this is done online on the online calculator that comes with the Microsoft Windows operating system. But you know, it's important for you to actually get your hands on your scientific calculator, all right, and then to follow these calculations, all right. And so I have assigned you some exercises from sections or lessons 7, 8, and 9, all about math of finance. And please don't say, you know, this whole math we study in school is really not meaningless. So we'll never use this in life, because this compound interest is an extremely important concept, okay? Especially as you save money and borrow money in long terms, like when you buy a car or you buy a house or whatever, okay? So make sure you don't have to memorize all the details, okay? But make sure you get a good picture of how money works, because that's going to save you tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars in your lifetime. And so that's what I'd like to, you know, tell you as we go into these 3 lessons. Okay, so lesson 7, lesson 8, and lesson 9, all about money, and that's this week. So for this week, you have lessons 8 and 9. Lesson 8 is about saving money, and lesson 9 is about borrowing money. You want to be intelligent as you save money, or if you have to borrow money, you want to be also intelligent and know what is happening. Okay. I know that homework is a hard set of questions, and sometimes you get frustrated with homework. That's understandable, because homework is supposed to be more challenging because you have more time, you can work with your classmates, and so on. Calculations are more complex on homework, and hopefully you will not see problems that are so difficult that you can't do on the exams. All right, so again, on videos, I show you how to use your scientific calculator. Make sure you have access to a scientific calculator, whether it's online or handheld calculator, or on your phone. Again, non-credit classes are still available. NC, Math 004 and 005 are the most applicable. And then study groups have been formed, right? So the old study groups are gone now. I finally got rid of them today. So I'll work with the people in your new study group, okay? I still have my work, my office hours as before. It's Mondays and Thursdays from 1 to 2:30 p.m. So if you want to talk to me about anything, you know, just log on, and hopefully you know how to do that, how to get in contact with me, right? Just go to the very first module, and the very first thing you see is office hours. If you click here, it has my meeting ID, and I will be available during my office hours. Okay. And one more thing before I finish for today. As you go into each lesson, I hope you know how it's structured by now. So for instance, I'm going to use lesson 7 as my example. Lesson 7 notes, this is where you find the class notes, okay? Lots of blanks to be filled as you watch the lecture videos. And this next thing, lesson 7, this is what I call the lesson page, right? So when you click on this, you will see a link to my videos and other things that you are to pay attention to, right? I just clicked it, and you can see that I have a 2-part video lesson for that lesson number 7. And then you have a list of homework problems to do for this lesson, right? And then of course the solutions are also available. And so make sure, you know, when I talk about the lesson page, okay, this is the page I'm talking about. It's just simply entitled lesson and the number, you know. So when I say lesson page, just go to that particular page. All right, and everything else has been pretty, I think, fully explained. I am just going to show you everything else that you see in a typical module. All right, so lesson number 7. You have the worksheet, which is a hard copy. You can print this out. You don't have to, because all worksheets are now online. This worksheet 7, this is the online worksheet that you're going to answer questions, you know, here, right? Even though you have the same kind of problems here, and you can print this out and you can try to fill in. And this time you have lots of calculations. So make sure you do these problems beforehand. Talk to the people in your work, the study group if necessary. And actually, I would highly encourage you to do that, because it is an important part of learning mathematics, to be in communication with other people in solving problems together. All right, and then the answer key, this is the answer key for lesson number 7. So all the class notes, all the blanks are filled out in here, as well as that worksheet. All right, so remember, the worksheets do have answer keys. And then some of you asking, what's the point, okay, of doing this worksheet online if I know all the answers? Well, I want you to be able to do these things. Notice it's only 1 point per worksheet, and you have up to 3 attempts, right? So you shouldn't be missing any of these worksheets, points on worksheets. And this is for you to just to confirm, verify that you have understood the concepts explained in this lesson. All right, and then homework is assigned for the lesson. This is where you find the answers for the homework problems for lesson number 7. And the same thing applies to lesson 8, lesson 9, and then after that, the following week, you'll start on lesson number 10. But for this week, again, work on lessons 8 and 9, and continue to learn about your finance, all right? Lesson, worksheet 7, by the way, is due Monday, tomorrow, on September the 28th, all right? And so that's when lesson 7 is due. You do not have to turn anything in anymore. You understand that right now, right? You just take this online, and up to 3 attempts, and the highest score gets graded for this online worksheet number 7. And that is due by the end of tomorrow. Okay, so I think that's it for today. I hope you will learn a lot about money. This is one of the primary goals of this class, to be practical, to learn practical mathematics. And what could be more practical than the compound interest, right? Which will basically affect, influence, hopefully improve your life. And so have fun, and I will see you next week. All right, I'll talk to you later then. Bye.